Welcome, everybody, to Evolution 2026, the growth summit that started to change Skool and created an accidental podcast, the Evolution podcast with Dinka Salvador and I. And we are super excited to be joined by our third guide and crucial partner in Evergreen Foundations, Dr. Melissa Parteka today. So we're having a three-person panel for the summit, and I'm super excited. And today we are joined by a really amazing guest that's been a member for over a year now, I believe, has her own Skool community, and is just an all around digital profiting badass here on Skool that teaches a lot of us. So we're super excited to have Heather Coffin join us. Hey, Heather, how are you?
How are you? Thank you for the warm welcome.
Yeah, doing well. I'm super excited to have you today because I believe we've had except for maybe one or two, we've had a lot of community owners in the summit, people who school all the time, use online marketing. I use online marketing, have done it poorly, kind of good, and then in the last 2 years. So like I'm excited to learn from you. So my first question that I ask here on every summit call and podcast episode is who is Heather Coffin?
Ah, that's the biggest question. And a lot of us don't have a defined identity until we get into the goods and the deets of ourselves and our businesses. It changed over time for me, but it came down to being an implementation mentor. What that means is by guiding entrepreneurs how to take action versus ideas, right? Even though I'm changing their ideas into effective businesses online, the implementation mentor came more clear to me, especially in stepping as a leader role or mentoring part of my business. I love guiding members and clients to achieve their own goals, working with their business, not giving them a template and say, hey, you need to work with this template. I love working with what they dream of. And that's the exciting part about digital marketing. It's such widespread term because digital marketing can be courses, it can be a guide, it could be leadership, it could be anything because it's all done online in different various formats and types. Heather Coffin is the mentor of 2026, the implementation mentor. Mm, It was mid 2025 when I really defined that. And I kind of like that because it fits well with me.
I like that, and I like sometimes how we step into roles. I didn't know I was going to be a podcaster and school building coach 6 months ago, right? Like I didn't realize that was the realm I was going to fall into. And um, you said something important of like meet what I love about working with other people who own schools or they have Facebooks or whatever they're trying to do is finding little things in people that are like, this is your brand. This is you. Like, you don't have to be like somebody else. You're not going to go, oh, yeah, this works. And you're going to go viral. When you're really trying to own a business and market that business online, it has nothing to do with going viral or dancing on the internet or likes. And it's easy to fall into that trap. I did for a while.
Exactly. Very much.
So,
Uh,
as a mentor, how are you working with people these days to really create a thriving online business, as I just said, not an online influencer type of role?
it's more of the groundwork, the foundations. So I like working with the foundations, setting up what you're going to start with and grow from there and how you're going to present it. How and presenting it could be in many ways, whether it's delivering it by podcast, delivering it by course, or delivering by mentoring one to one. It's all about the foundation and how you're going to deliver that forward, going forward or outwards, right? So I work with more of the foundations for it to grow. And I use as I present later on, I use one system and one method. And that usually helps with keeping everything simple. I love simplicity,
Speak
but
about
I'm a very active brain and very creative, so my brain works faster than my mouth. And I get mouth diarrhea. So and this which helps me kind of contain myself at the same time keep things clear. So it provides clarity, steps, and ultimately a resolution, right, to your goal. And that's what I like about using one system, one method, which I'll go into now.
I was gonna say,
Um,
that system and that method. Now you got me peak interest is peaked.
yeah. Um, Obviously, I told you a little about myself. I am a mom of 3, so and go into why I stepped into the mentorship because I did the online business myself. I started from watching Maria Went, Hormozy, a couple other gurus, and I just picked at their systems and their methods. And then I went out on my own and did digital products. I fell in love with digital products and digital marketing. So this is what where it lead me to today is doing the mentor guiding. A lot of people I find they're watching and absorbing content like no tomorrow. They're wasting times on tested tools. Um, Not only that they're spending the money on it when there's free stuff that you could use to utilize. And that's what I like about using simple systems. I wrote this here. Put in comments, type your business or start what you've started now or what you want to start in the comments in the community that Dinka has started. I posted there as well. If you want to put yours as well, continue because we're going to grow from that. So not only if we're going to share and discuss, but also we're going to evolve from it. So do put your comments in. So a lot of people are wondering how long do you want to take it to achieve your goal or income? A lot of people take this long road as you see here. And then we kind of want this road, right? We want it quicker. We want it shorter. But it's the exact same thing as your client. So your path and your client should be the same length, not making it more, right? So this is where the one system, one method comes into play. A predictable digital growth. It's one proven system, one repeatable method, and used across all platforms. And this is where you create the foundation that could be scalable. Simple creates consistency, and consistency creates profit, right? Most people fail in marketing because they try to do everything all at once, or they test something for like maybe a week. They're not getting an answer on it or a response to it. So they tweak it and then they change it. Sometimes it's okay to tweak it or add to it, but sometimes they completely change it. And that's where we don't want the power of one. I learned this. It's a Japanese saying. I'm not going to go into detail that. I'll comment on the post there of what it means. But basically, power of one is just basically focusing on 5 ones and making sure that you're one target, one core offer, one clear offer, one proven system, and work on it for a month and then provide the consistency over the year. Did this with selecting Skool. Skool was my system that I picked. I had a decision to whether do my own website, webinars, etc. I decided to stick with Skool. So sticking with that one system for the 1 month, and then I went to a year. I'm now in a year and a half, almost 2 years now, and it'll be 2 years in April. So
Would you see
many,
school as a viable, platform for everything that you kinda just ran through there?
yes, I find that it can be utilized in various ways. It's how you set it up. There's always one way to do things, but in multiple ways of doing it. So
I
you
like
could
it.
do so you can clean a window. Cleaning a window is done one way, right? But you could use different solutions like chemicals. You could use different cloths, but it's basically like the system would be using a cleaner. The method would be how you use the cloth on the window going from top to bottom type scenario. And that's why Skool is built. Skool is built so many a template where it could be utilized in different ways. And how I each community is different and each community utilizes. One uses tiers now that it's rolled out. When it first started, there was ascension model. So you got a free community to ascension model where the paid community. For me, when I saw that, I saw there's a disconnection there. So I kept with one community with paid content, which is now basically the tier
Yeah.
aspect of freedom, right? So I originally started that at the very beginning when I saw Skool because I saw it in a different way, but I saw it to be utilized in many different ways. And there's so many advantages of using it. And I think Skool is positioned very well. And I think it's going to be the main. I know it has competitions with Kajabi and a couple other platforms. And I even used System.io, and I still use System.io. But Skool seems to have a bigger container for communities aspect of it. I think that's where it positions us all because in order to keep your products visual to people and your members to keep selling to them, you need to keep them in the container, and the container is the community. I think Skool is well positioned for this.
And for the niches, it's just, I mean, that's why here in foundations, we call them branch communities. Like Dinka has one, Trinity Code, and the talk with the Blueprint Method, and me with Better Brain Project. But like you with Digital Profiter, and everyone else, like that's in our community, we shine lights on the niches because I think that's where school really excels. And like you said, like you have to have that target market. I spent too long going, I'm a fitness coach, a nutrition coach, anxiety coach, this and that. Now I like know what I am, and I have two communities that have two separate niches that I can spend my time in, and I have success with connections, networking, because I'm not looking at 50 different areas. I'm talking to people in like one. Now I'm like, hey, I'm doing something better brain. I have like 50 people that we're doing groups and stuff with because I'm niched, and so are they. So I think that's really important is finding that target market.
It is. You're finding that one thing. And that goes back to having that one target market, that one core solution. So your container is the community, right? So your core solution would be helping with brainiacs, right? For your other community is all about brain health, right?
Yeah.
And right. And then where evolution encompass the pillars, right? So you have the four pillars as a solution. Um, and the clear offer is right there. The community is the offer. The product itself that services the community is the solution, right? So, and you have a proven system. If people are staying and getting a value out of it, that's a proven system, right? They're there to get something. Obviously, it's not for everybody, but obviously the solution fits for a specific market. And that's where you pick your specific target market. And we go into details in the foundations. And this is where your method comes into play, right? So I call it the mini problem method because we're going to break it down to smaller bites. Identify small specific pains, and then you show why it's holding them back. You deliver simple, actionable solution, right? So if you tell them the why and you don't give them and a solution, but you don't give them the actionable part to it, it's just like how we express verbally. If I say I had versus instead of I have, you assume the past versus now. If we use the say, okay, let's do it now, somebody's going to take action now. It's just like your click buttons, right? So join now. That's an actionable verbal, right?
Yeah.
And this is how we want to make sure that we go in our digital marketing, clarifying the verbal and making sure it's actionable steps or call to actions should be there. So in our winning formula that I was testing for the last year or so, small problem, fast win will gain your trust and all, which will make sure that your offer is purchasable, right? So if I could solve your one solution problem today, one little questions to ask, and provided a solution to it. It's a little small mini problem with a small mini solution. I'm going to build that trust. And this is where it goes back to Brendan, you say about connections. You're making connections with that community, um, having that conversation. One question, one answer, one problem, one solution. It's trust. You're building the fast wins, and then you present your main offer, right? So you're building them up to a bigger offer. In my background here, kind of like have this football lace. It's kind of like the step one to A to Z, and then little mini problems in the middle. I call it the football lace. Um,
I love
help
that.
to help understand those little steps, help get them over the small humps that needed. And this is where the monetization comes in. If you get them to closer to the bigger problem
Which
where
is your
you have present your position your offer to them.
well, Over in the schoolyard as Jack Robinson's customer success sidekick, I was just talking to his launchpad, our launchpad guys there, and, he talks about the yard party, right? The barbecue. Like, that's how your community should be. It's people that you're taking care of, and it's that vibe of just everyone's hanging out. And a big thing with this, how you incorporate this is what I see in school is when you hear somebody at your party like needs a napkin, get them a napkin. When they need a drink, get them a drink. When they need somebody to talk to, show them that Dinka Salvador has the same hobbies as them and she'd be a cool chick to talk to. Like, solve every little thing. Like, you're right there handing them a plate when they need one. You're right there handing them a juice box when they're thirsty. Like, you're taking care of every little thing. So then when they go, you know what? I really need help doing this, and I'm willing to invest to make it happen. You know, Brandon always does this for me. I'm going to call him first and see what he's doing. And that, in a communal aspect, is all you need to do is just show up and those fast wins, small problems, do them for all your members.
That's a perfect example of it. Well, said, 'cause that's exactly it. If you just take care of somebody, helping is basically providing a solution for somebody,
Yep.
and everybody needs help. Just matter of positioning your offer to the right person. So as you made an example, we could probably skip over this because you laid out the perfect example. It's like, okay, I want to exceed online, but I don't know what to post this week. So I use this because it's more into digital marketing, marketing yourself. What actually works is just solving one little problem, one clear action. So the mini problem is actually I don't know how to promote my community, which is basically I don't know what to post for this week. You help them with that little problem or how they should structure their posts. Maybe it should have a call to action, a poll in the post, or an image in the post to get visuals. It's just those small little things that you could help them out with them to improve. That will get them to moving forward and making accomplishments forward to their bigger problem.
Yeah.
Um, as we talked about the community, oh my god, it really works with community based systems. Whether you're a leader selling digital product or you're showing somebody how to do guitar, every type of business in a community can be utilized in helping beginners from starting point to finish, even with bigger gurus helping other gurus. Um, with that said, I'm going to explain an example of that. Tony Robbins sat down with Alex Mosey. Everybody knows Alex Mosey. Tony Robbins actually sat him down and broke him down into smaller bites of his brain always thinks analytically. Like he analyzes everything. And he was like, no, you need to switch to your heart. You need to start listening to your heart and emotions and lead with your emotions. In order for you to get over this hump, you would need to have your passion, your wants, your goals be led by your heart. And it's very true because when you come into working aside of Tony Robbins, he's huge, right? And his whole system is based around helping people. Just that one thing, helping others. Now, it's defined in different parts of his businesses that he owns because he's worth what, $12 billion now?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he was sitting down with Alex, he was setting him up with micro, explaining to him the micro steps, micro things to do from thought to heart. Um, and it's quite interesting. It doesn't matter where you are in your business or in your leadership, you just need to be two steps ahead of the other person. So Tony Robbins was technically two steps ahead of Alex and was teaching Alex how to move forward because Alex is now million multimillionaire, right? I think he's worth getting close to 300 million, $400 million. It's just a matter of, Robin's in the billions, he's in the millions. He's just a couple steps more, right? It's just a matter of helping somebody to gap, cre- step through those gaps, right? Of course, I got excited about that. My favorite part, as you can see.
Anyone
Just
that knows me knows exactly like that.
Yeah, it just creates consistency and eliminates creating a system and a method just creates consistency and without the overwhelm, right? Ta Even in Tony Robbins, you need to step back and, think it through your heart, not analyze everything. You're creating more work for yourself, uh, and he's like, "You probably work 10 hours a day, and you don't need to work 10 hours a day because you don't need to analyze everything and create more stuff for yourself. You need to
I think
simplify."
Yeah, and I think analyzing, we're always looking, trying to make things happen when really we need to listen more. We need to listen if we're in our target market. Now, what does our target market need? If you're a community owner, what does your community talk about a lot? What do they need? What are they saying? And then your next steps, your offers, everything else just becomes simpler. That's what I see. Is kind of like once you're helping people, once you start with that heart center of I just want to help people and you see what people need, now that's when you can create offers, do bigger things, help your target market solve problems that they have that maybe you were trying to look for when you need to listen for. That would be that,
Exactly.
that's what I've learned in this entrepreneurial journey.
Exactly. We get into more creator mode than it is in the mentorship in listening, right? And it happens a lot. Sometimes we tend to create more and more and more. I even measured myself. I keep track of my analytics, and it was nice to look back on a full year. The 1 month I did um, produced a lot. This was September of 2024 when I went and looked back. What was the highest point? I'm like, what happened there? So I went back and looked at all the posts and all the things that I did that month. And I basically created back, refined it into 2025. And then I went look back at it again. I'm like, okay, I seem to be refining, but I'm still creating. I need to stop creating. I need to, even though I'm using the system and method, I need to stop creating and just keep using it over and over again. That's where the scaling comes in play is the using the same method or system over and over again to scale.
Yeah.
As you guys proven in evolution, right? You're using the summit and you're using it over and over again for 30 days. That's definitely an example of that. Using the same system and finding people to share and to get involved. That's a system in itself. The method is the summit. Podcast will be the byproduct of that. Um, and you can use it over and over again. I
I
think,
hope the important thing you're saying here is like the consistency of like using your systems. That doesn't mean, like we said, like overanalyzing, trying to figure out every step. I think I tried to create a podcast last year. It didn't work out. I tried to create premiums and different experiences through Evergreen Foundations. They didn't really work out. When I stopped trying things and we started the summit and started networking, now we have a podcast that just came from that. Now we have more offers that I'm working with different people for different things because they presented themselves. So I think having things that you show up with every day is super crucial, but also listening to just letting things happen from that. Would you agree?
yeah, I definitely agree. Usually, like you mentioned before, your customers and your members are going to tell what they want. Your about page basically tells you what uh, is essentially an offer and what your community is about. And then when they come in, they get the real solution. They get the real transformation, and that's what they're looking for is the transformation, not a product. So the transformation comes from where you're offering it to them when they present it themselves, like you mentioned. It's evolving with is coming a product of what the members are wanting, and you come to see it. You see a trend of it, right? And you see a trend of one topic specifically, and that's where you create your offer based on that, right? So it's very well explained, Brandon. Awesome. Um, I'm just gonna. I don't have much more to explain about it other than jumping in the community. The
I love
community,
that.
I do. The goal isn't to do more marketing; it's to do less better. And that's about reciprocal systems. Even this year, I decided to take because I went into showing people how to create courses. I went into leveling the core offers because I was trying to do the session model within the same community. I'm gonna change it up bit for this year, just because I'm gonna use the freedoms versus just the courses, because I wanna scale it to down to 6 main ones versus multiples, right? As I mentioned before, we tend to make create more, but in I'm using the same system, the same method, and to keep it scaling. I'm doing it on a smaller, slower pace because I like helping people and making people go through the systems and that. I don't want a vast growth where I am not helping people at all. It's all based on, and that's where the implementation mentor comes in. It's all based on me helping where you want to be, not where I want to be. It's where you want to be. And I think that's where we all in agreement. We want to help our members achieve what they want, right? So, that goes back to, digital profit system. So I created the system, and I'll explain about the one system in the comments, um, section about where I got it from and why it came about, but because I don't wanna go into too much time here, I get so excited talking about it that I'll lose time. But definitely, in the community, we started in January doing step by step, the mini problem method. And we're working on one problem. And this is gears to the digital marketing part of it and promoting your product and helping them with many problems. So we're focusing that on that in January and February, March. And then April, May, June, we're gonna scale it at that on top of that for step two, stage two.
And, um, is this a challenge that you guys are kinda doing together as a community? Is this a premium experience? What does that, look like from your community aspect?
Well, the first stage, January, February, March is it's all free. It's all foundation. Um, we are in tier aspects, so the premium and VIP. That's more into direct mentorship. If they are interested in more aspect to it, the premium involves more templates created for their businesses. The VIP is a one-to-one aspect to it, for me helping them on one-to-one basis. All of the foundations are obviously all free and the community is free, which I love because that's a great way to start the conversation, see where you're at, because you need to evaluate where you're at. You may not even be ready for premium VIP because you want to figure out who you are. And that's what I like about the community. It doesn't get you to push into anything. It gets you started to find out where you are and how you are. And that's where we book the profit plan sessions for free for 30 minutes. We go over where you are, where you at, and where you need to go. And this way they get a clear bird eye view of what they need to do for next steps.
Well, I think that brings back to your important point of, like, helping them stack, little wins, right? Like, when they come in your free community and they stack some wins, they're like, "Oh, wow, this worked." More for the premium. I think when you, like when a new member comes in and you're like, "Hey, buy all this stuff," they're like, "Whoa, hold on a second." But when you're like, "Hey, try this," and then they do try the stuff that you put in your free wall, and like, "Oh, that worked." Now you have warmer leads for your premium stuff. So I like how you set that up.
Yeah, very much so. And I like people are different too. So going back to the one system, one method, I built it in the basis that not everybody learns the same way or learn a certain way with different things. So for me, I would learn the four corner training. So there's a visual, hands on, there's hearing and visual. So not everybody learns the same way. I'm a consumer, and that's where I got bogged down the first year when I started on to go online. I didn't want to be a person that works to their day's end with a 9 to 5 job. So when I was a consumer, and this is where you get really flooded down
Oh,
with
yes.
stuff because you're always wanting to learn, learn, learn. But I learned in different ways. There's some people, their content didn't come across, right? Because it wasn't simplified. I was either too bogged down with watching videos all the time, and then there was text content. These are work assignments, worksheets. And sometimes they're their courses are built with 3 things all at once. You have to go through the video, then you go through the worksheet, and then you go through the reading, and it's kinda like, "Okay, this is overwhelming." And for me, I'm a hands-on person, so the worksheet was perfect for me. Everything else wasn't. It just over the head, right? So we learn at different stages and different ways, and I think that's where we need to have those levels. So and where people could come in and assess themselves where they need to be, and having that private, profit plan sessions with everybody, like a one-to-one, it helps go through to where their needs are and how they learn and what they need out of it. Like, mixing that match, right? Because I even had a session where I had a consumer that loved the mentoringship, and he came back to me after a couple of years, and he's in a new era of, doing a whole different business. I'm knowledgeable of it, but I'm not great at it. So I was comfortable to say, "Hey, I'm not great at it. I could point you in a direction." I love that he trusts me and came back to me, but that's whole thing about finding out where you are and where you need to be. And I think that's why I love the community aspect, because you could find that. Somebody may be good at something, explain like, "Melissa, sorry, you always tell me how it is, and I love it how you tell me how it is." Because sometimes we get on a personal aspect when we have a conversation, and it's kinda like, "Yeah, you're right, you know? You said it well." Like, I may not be able to translate something well, but she was able to translate it back to me. I was like, "Whoa, yeah, you're right." Right? So, I think that's where we need to have the tiers and the learning levels, because they may not be ready for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think meeting in anything like this on online world and especially communities, meeting your members, your potential clients, yourself, where you are in the process and being aware of that is super, super crucial.
Especially when you're starting out, like you mentioned before, you were everywhere, but now that you fine-tuned what you want out of everything,
Mhm.
I think that's where the testing stage comes in, is where you test a offer, and that's where I talk about in the 30 days, is testing out your offer and what it is. You try something, you tweak it, you change it, and that's where we find ourselves. And I'm glad that you found your mojo, because it's all about flow, right? Your
Yeah.
mojo, your flow, it's all relative to who you are, and sometimes we don't. We don't know exactly, we know what we want, but we don't know how we want it. And that's the whole aspect of being online and business, is fine tuning to who how we want it and what we want and how we deliver it.
Well, I'm hoping you have a lot of thoughts on this. What I see a lot, and I've done this, I've known people that have done this, is when people want to go in the online world, a guru, maybe somebody from a digital marketing company that hit it big, promised them that in like 30 days they're going to change their life and they're going to overnight success. And I mean, if you don't give up on any product, on anything that you wanna do, I mean, it's taken me almost 3 years to, like, build a business that could be something for the rest of my life, and I won't give up, right? Like, but if you have a squirrel mindset of like, "Well, this product can sell, I give up." Like, do you see that a lot where people get promised things and then they get into the digital marketing world, they make, like, 20 days of reels, they don't sell any products, their family gets annoyed with them because they're posting and they don't have the right people on their marketing stuff, and now they quit or go to a new product. Do you see that a lot?
Very.
Yeah.
A lot of us do it at the very beginning.
Yes. Yep.
I do have a member, a customer, however you want to put a label on it, depends on your line of business. They are in a That's where you're absorbing so much information. I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. I just need to make that quick money. I need to find a solution. A lot of people do that, and the squirrel mind is because they're about the money, not about actually what they're working towards, what they want. And that's where the focus needs to come in. Um, and that's why I did the 5 ones. It literally puts you to focus on the path to what you want. Um, the squirreling part of it, I'm ADHD. I am a creative mind. I love trying and testing things out, and I find a lot of people, especially on this platform, are that way in the first 6 months to a year. And I gotta honestly say, all these gurus that you see now, Russell Branson, El Kamosi, they've been at this for 10 to 20 years. They didn't get here instantly. They put the hard work in making sure that they put their offer out there, fine-tuned it, and made sure that it was a profitable system. Hey, puppy. Sorry, I have my big girl here.
I
Right.
knew right away. I know that cry. I have a corgi that's attached to my hip.
Yeah, she's here begging me in with me here. Oh, the squirreling, a lot of people do it. I even did it. I did it. It took me a year for Jizzle products. I was squirreling everywhere because I started with PLRs, and then I went into creating my own. It's ever evolving. I think we evolve from starting at a start point, and then we fine tune it, and then we get successful. And it doesn't do overnight. Those Some people think that it comes down to money, but if you focus on the money, all you're ever going to do is set yourself back. Because if you're looking for that dollar, you're not making a successful business. A successful business is about putting a system in place that works for everybody.
And then Skool helps us with that and collaboration and working when you're working in digital marketing of any kind and online, working with others, especially against algorithms and digital reaches. And when you have people in your corner that just like push you to, it's so crucial. So I think the communal aspect and the connection aspect is a big deal because it's oversaturated. Any niche you pick nowadays, there's a lot of people. You need you need to be you and authentic and have some people behind you too.
Exactly. And I think being authentic is what the public needs right now. They don't need this uh, tagline or call to action to purchase. They want a transformation. They don't want something that's gonna to be there like for 5 minutes of attention and then be gone. I think those that are and your members that are going to be there for a long term are not going to want that quick thing. They wanna be there to be successful as much as we are, right? So
Exactly, and actually, me and I'm gonna, shout out Tim Ateo for one of our summit guests. We were talking in a VIP call in the yard the other day, and I said, "People don't want more of the what. Hey, I have this product, I have this course, I have this, I have that." There's millions of them, there's thousands of them. Everybody has everything. They want more of the who, and
exactly.
Tim brilliantly said not only that, but first, they want more of the who, who's doing it, but then they want the why. The what doesn't matter. It's the who and the why it matters to them in where they are in their process. And when you put together the who, somebody that cares, somebody that's trying to help them, level them up, do something actually for them. And then you give the why. The why is the person doing it? The who, the branded why. Why am I there showing up? Why do what I'm talking about? Why does that matter to them? Once those two things are figured out, it doesn't matter what the product is. It doesn't matter what the service is. Those people buy into the who and the why, they're going to purchase the what. And I think that you probably agree with that with how you do things in your system.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. They're there for the journey as much as you are going on it yourself.
Yeah.
And it's just like that slide there that's how you wanna get there for yourself as well as your client. You're in the same path. You may be the leader and the member, but you guys are on the same path. Literally, we're all on the same path. We're just maybe doing different path in a sense of in digital marketing, you're in health, and somebody else is in mindset, right? So it might be a different path, but we're all on the same path, and we both want to be there together. And like you mentioned, community collaboration all supports that system, right? And then which why I think school is such a great platform for that because we're all here to get a certain specific niche of that specific need that we need. I'm not a crocheter or a guitarist, but I'm definitely into creating things. So with those different niches and categories that are on school. I can feel my need of learning and participating and having fun with that.
I like that. Um,
Shoot. I guess so. I definitely give you credit for me being on Skool. You 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 had an offer that helped me get my school set up, and I am so grateful for that. Not only that, you've helped me with all of the digital side of things, which I'm not a millennial, so I don't really really know it all. But I'm grateful, and I can learn. An old dog can learn new tricks. So I guess my question then is, without naming names, people may not want to be named, but what are some of the examples that you've provided assistance for within your community? I know there's been one that has helped people learn English as an Arabic speaker. There's been so many. But yeah, if you want to elaborate on that.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's been many. There was a person that loves data, but he didn't know how to monetize his group or give a product. I essentially used him as an example in the group as a case study, and we end up creating an offer where he can actually sell his data skills to chess players. So now he has a 3-tier system digital product he can sell to chess players with his data analytics stuff that he does. That's his hobby, his things that he likes to do is collect data. And he did a very good way of presenting it, which is great. Another one was a coffee store owner. So he had this envision of have a big foundation helping kids in his community back home, which was Mexico. And we ended up creating him a whole coffee brand, website, contracts, everything. And I did built the whole system for him. And that was our collaboration as part of profit sharing. I created his brand, his digital marketing, his ads. There's been other members such as health. Oh my God. One was about mindset. She went on to doing her own website off of Skool. She started on Skool and then she ended up growing it. And now she's off Skool, which is fantastic. I love it. Um, I would love to have her back in my community active. Okay. And that's the whole sad part about community. Sometimes you get people to a point where they're rolling and they leave, they're not staying and participating anymore, which is sad, but also a good thing because I got them up and rolling, right? I was part of that foundation and got them going. What was there was a I can't remember. It was at the very beginning. This dental hygienist. Her husband was a dentist. She was the dental hygienist or dental. They're kind of like a couple coming from India. They wanted to take their product online in the sense of teaching people how to better hygiene for their teeth, right? Because they want to have their whole thing is about getting them into a better health aspect for their teeth. And she wanted to know how to get that to her clients and monetize it because there's so much. She wasn't here from Canada; she was in Europe, so there's not many choices to monetize because some of the governments in Europe give the stuff for free, like Britain. They give a lot for free for educational wise, which is great. So it was hard for her to monetize it. And I said, well, you could monetize it by putting them through transformation. First, she wanted to sell a guide. I'm like, well, you can compete. It's just like here, you sell a guide, or a small product, and you're competing against a Dollarama store, a dollar store, right? So it was about free information from the government to that. And I said, you need to sell the transformation, not the guide. So, and she's up and running. She ended up buying this whole big product, as Brendan mentioned. There's so many systems out there. It was like go high level, but it was named something else because it was white labeled. So she was wanting to be on Skool and do this other software 'cause she pre-purchased it in a course that she took. And a lot of us buy those courses, those seminars, whatever it is, and we get all this stuff. But what to do with it? That's the thing. They sell it, and there's nothing. They don't help you with how to use it. So I broke it down to her. I said, "There's no point in you starting a Skool community," and I was up and honest because it would have made me commission her starting her community. Like, it's not up for you. You bought this product. It's about the same thing as utilize it. Let's just utilize it. So we set up her courses on transformational, and she is off school. Um, and she's being successful out of it. She has a great blog, fantastic amount of information. You know, the byproduct? Well, the byproduct of her blog, we turned into the courses. We took her existing content, we just changed it into her course. So it's the exact same content, we just put it in a system and a method.
I think this really highlights how important it is to listen to others, have other people have a bird's eye view of your projects, your communities, your business, your website, your blogs. Have other people that care, like, and have done it. Look at it because that's what we like do in our focus group here. That tornado power is 5 of us get together and we look at our communities. We talk about, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, and then someone will be like, hey, I think this would go good like this. And then it's like, oh, you're right. And then they would go like fix it up. And it's like, hey, that worked. Because when you have other people that have kind of done the same thing or doing the same thing, looking at something as a consumer or as another person that's like made fail forwards. A shout out to Ankara for in business, and they've been there, done that. They can be like, oh, I think you should just tweak this a little bit. And you don't come in and say, oh, well, yeah, I made them change their whole business. You just come in and look and go, hey, if you looked at it like this, and then now they have new monetization problems or processes. So I like how you do that with each specific, again, meeting them where they are and their brand, but just tweaking things a little bit because it
Mhm.
doesn't take huge fixes a lot of time.
Exactly. A lot of times they got the right stuff. And we're creating more content, but the existing content could be just repurposed or reused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, do you see a changing of the guard or a changing of the landscape in digital marketing? I mean, we've had different. We had the hormozy effect for Skool. Russell Brunson, and when he makes all the click funnels and stuff, right? That was a craze for a while, and then things changed. You had to do digital marketing differently, and now things are changing. Click funnels, stuff like that. People don't they run from that a lot. Do you? What do you see the landscape now, and how do you see that evolving for digital marketers as it gets oversaturated? People try all the techniques and then they work, but now everybody uses those. How do you see that landscape right now?
Oh, it definitely is going to change. And to be honest, I think Google is going to make the huge change in 2026 with AI being heavy leaned into. And I think people should lean into it. Just make sure that they're utilizing it in the right way, not doing it for you, but utilizing it to do a task for you, but not, uh, or helping you in a task, but not doing it necessarily for you. Google has rolled out beta tests on a few AI programs, making images, videos, tasks, bots, agents, etc.
Shout out,
Well,
shout out Notebook LM is Dinka's becoming a Notebook LM wizard.
yeah, it's. I think they're gonna change the digital marketing aspect. I even did a video the other day, just turning a simple Google sheet into making it pretty and selling it. Like simple system, simple product, and selling it. Um, I think Google with their new platforms and their new AIs is gonna make a huge difference because everything's tying into Google search and AI being part of the Google search as well and indexing. Instagram's gonna be changing, TikTok is gonna be changing. Um, Instagram is now indexed by Google. It's a purposely contracted to index by Instagram. So whoever uses Instagram, start getting your keywords and your verbal fixed up because that's where it's going to drive you to the traffic. In the uh, full aspect, like you're talking about Russell Brunson and Tony Robbins and Alex Hormozy, they are now changing in a way in small movements. Alex is doing more on the small movements. He set up goals for him and he launched that book. Now, launching that book, last book, is about systems. Now, you'll see in the future, I could see in the future, anyways, I could see him now box setting everything and monetizing box set of the whole systems, including that last book. And that's Russell Brunson's doing the exact same thing. He now has ClickFunnels, but he also have offer labs out there. He's now creating a platform where people could put multiple offers on a platform and sell to one client. So that's where his digital marketing is going. Tony Robbins and a couple other Sam.
Him team up there.
So their AI is a big driver going forward. I think if we have that part of our systems or our task life, I think that will work. I think Google's going to lead definitely for everybody. To be honest, there's a lot of AI apps getting created because chat function of creating the app is there. Even Canva has it. I created a few apps, whether it was calculating your sales, calculating your marketing. I've tested those and put them in my community to demonstrate the capabilities of it and just simplicity of it. And I think with the digital marketing now in 2026 and going forward, it's going to be a whole new change on AI. And I think Google's going to lead that, to be honest with you. I'm going all in on Google, to be honest with you. And most of it's free now. So definitely test it out while it's free before they start monetizing it. But the landscaping is going to be not about the guru. It's going to be about the system.
Yeah, exactly. I have a hot take. I think for Skool, like, especially everyone's getting sick of the AI driven threads. Owners, stop doing that. Do yourself. You can structure ideas through AI. Do that. But do the threads yourself. But AI tools, guides, special things for your premium members, AI help is going to be crucial for owners to have because a lot of people are going to have a lot of offerings with AI that makes it more personal, makes it easier to access you and access information, your community. AI is going to be a huge part of being a community owner in 2026. It already is.
Definitely is here. I don't know. I'm in the last 6 months, I've been testing out different AIs. My whole testing is driven by finding a system that you can put in place and use that are cheap and affordable and easy to do to find your clients on your behalf. For me, I think that for someone to find clients for you on social media or wherever, if you could have an agent built to find you that customer and bring it in, that's my whole research right now to do is looking at these different apps and programs and websites, see which works best and functional. I have this one platform where it has access to 500 AIs. So it cost me $5 for the year. Now I'm going to test them all out and see what works and what doesn't. And I think we need that part of the business is see what system works for you. For me, it was just researching an agent that would bring people less than me from my digital marketing because I want to be less in the digital marketing doing. Right now, I'm doing a $50,000 contract marketing. It's draining me. It takes a lot of my time and less time in the community. And I don't like that. I had to go for it because financially it makes sense. Right now, I'm going to switch it back after the contract's done. And that's why I'm researching the AI, see if I can find customers on my behalf. It's kind of like an agent bot, right?
I know a lot of people doing this. As we kind of talked about the landscape changing, and I mentioned the word oversaturation, AI, other reasons, employment, careers, a lot more people going in entrepreneurship. Things are changing in our world. So there's going to be a lot more people going into digital marketing, online networking, community owning. So what would be like, what do you see in this landscape? What platforms are you telling people to go to? What tools or what things are you kind of advising people right now? Because if you don't stand out or if you don't offer an authentic solution to something, you're gonna get lost in the flush for sure.
Yes, this I mentioned before Google. I'm leaning into Google and their systems. It's free right now. Most of their systems are free. Sometimes some of the options are available on group plans like Workspace. Um, the systems I use, I recommend, and that's because I use them on day in day out. So I keep it simple and I keep it small. So I have the Skool, I have System IO for my marketing ads, etc. And then I use Google for my organizing and for monetizing, and using in my system. So if I have to give a system to somebody, it's in a Google Doc, and I tab them from plan, goals to marketing, and I make it. It's almost like a binder. Google Doc could be a binder. It's just a lot of people don't know that the features are there and can be utilized, right?
I
I do
imagine.
have a quick question here. I'm sorry, Brandon. So I am always suspicious when a service is for free because I strongly feel that when you don't pay for something, then you are the product. So, what is your take on Google's data privacy or, well, the lack of it? And is there any alternative for this system that you recommend?
The privacy part of it, yeah. That's a great question because the fact that privacy is going to be a huge issue moving forward. Even Adobe PDFs and all their PDFs, whatever you use today, has a backlink to Adobe and they assess all the details. It's just like any internet website tracking, cookies. Most of these sites have a tracking because they're tracking behavior and how it's being used. I do recommend Google just for the fact that they're now implementing a few settings in place because you do have the option to set up your settings in Google. Same with Word, Microsoft Word. Microsoft products do have the exact same thing. I think it comes down to because after some lawsuits, they're coming down on a lot of settings and making sure it's there. You do I think we have to mentally think that we need to check our settings on anything we use. Number 2, I think you have to fit the fulcrum balance of, okay, I'm giving you permission to see certain stuff in exchange for me to use your product for free. I That's where you have to balance.
But is there, for example, can you pay for it and then not have them check, like swipe all your data? Is that an option in Google, or that's the trade? Like they give you the platform, they encourage you to go there to bring all your data so that they can harvest it. Or is there an alternative to that where you don't have to sacrifice your privacy for the service?
The only way you can't sacrifice data or any settings is to have a desktop operating system. So anything that's cloud-based or internet-based is always you're always exchanging that settings, whether it's in your like say School Live. They have data on the back end of the School Live here. They're gonna have the data of how long we're having it and how long what we're using for and how frequent we're using it. Because it's not only part of the operating system that they have, but they need to know and so they could tailor the service. I don't think it's ever gonna be no possible way of sacrificing the balancing act. Um, they are following more guidelines, more harsher guidelines, and I think with online since the early 2000s to now, it's more stringent. Same with um, the what's it called? Like here where people claim, I make $68,000 a year, so on, so on. Well, anybody who puts that out there on their videos, they need to put a disclaimer. Not everybody knows that they need to do that, but they need to do that because disclaimers, you might have made it 68 million, but that's before expenses. So you're not telling the full truth. And on the government, they're starting to follow all these cookies. And I think that's why we need to the balancing act. they're following those settings because they are governed. So I think it's kind of good in a way, but bad in another, because you do give up some privacy. Adobe is worse on the end than it is Google, because Adobe takes more on the cookies content. You give them permission to the content, where Google, you don't give permission for the content. You don't give permission of how you're using it and how long and so on, kind of like the basic cookies, right? Basic use. So I advise people to make sure they check the setting and the private settings and the term and conditions and what they're willing to give up. There's no, I haven't found anything out there that's really judgmental unless you're ignorant of it, to be honest with you. Not very many people know as soon as you create a PDF or share a PDF, that content is shared. All of its contents, all of it on the PDF is shared.
Interesting.
Whether it's an invoice, a statement, a book, it's now shared. That's anything that's made in 2024 on or PDF.
I watched too many ex-CIA members on conspiracy podcasts where I'm like, they're taking all of our information. Like, but Heather, there's probably a lot of people, like I said, there's a lot of people that are going to flock to digital marketing and starting businesses, and MLMs and are never going to die. There's so many products out there. Where on like social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Skool, where do you see people really making money this year and like showing up? And B, what kind of advice do you have for somebody that's like, hey, now I need to make content? Like where do they put it? What do they do? Like any mistakes they should avoid?
Well, I'm going to address that last question because I'll forget it. Where they suggest the content is where their customers and members are hanging out. You really need to do that research first. You really need to put it where they are. You can put it on Instagram and nobody's on Instagram, right? So you have to actually, and the thing is, you got to keep in mind the function of their platform. Instagram was about sharing photos. Now they're reverting in 2026, promoting reels. So the function of the platform. So LinkedIn is about business and business learning. So you wouldn't want to promote digital product there. That's like wrong. Twitter, that would be about conversation, not about product sales. So you got to place your product where the platform is suitable, as well as where your members are or your clients are, or your target audience is. I find what 2026 is going to bring out: TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels are going to be the top 3 videos. You're going to have Pinterest for images and blogging. So if you have a podcast or blogging, Pinterest is going to be the ideal platform for that in 2026. They have their own search engine. So the SEO and search function and backlinks on that is going to push forward too as well. And that's where backlinks come in handy. If you have and I'll give this to you guys because you guys have a podcast, right? Anything you promote in your community with a link, it's classed as a big black a backlink if the link goes to a third party address or platform. So like say you publish it on YouTube and you're putting the link in Skool, that's a backlink. So more you use it, more traffic it's going to attract. And that's where a Google search is going to pick it up. So if your backlink got hit like 100 times, it's going to start rating it.
Interesting. That's good to know. I bet you by tomorrow we're going to be on Pinterest the way things have been going.
Yeah. Well, that's where the going. You start with one system and make one system, one method. And with the one, you want to make sure you pick one platform and work on it for 30 days and see where the analytics are. If it's doing good, continue it for a year. And that's how you grow and scale. But if it's not if the analytics after 30 days are very minimal, switch a platform and do the exact same steps. Because if you don't do that first 30 days straight and have those analytics, you have nothing to work on. You're just guessing. This is where the squirreling comes into play. You're trying it everywhere and to see if it works, right? And just knowing what the platform could do. Facebook, I used to love Facebook and Instagram, but I'm kind of moving away from Facebook because I'm an image person. I love creating images than it is video. But because I have another business with my sister's siblings, we're doing podcasts for that, and I'm editing and everything for the podcast and the videos, and oh, it's a lot of time and work to do that. I'm also on a search on an AI program that can do it all for me because it takes a lot. My sisters participate.
Oh,
I
I
do all
I
the
have
work.
something for you. Riverside FM. I edit all the podcasts in Riverside FM. It basically
Oh,
creates like a smart episode. You just upload, not sponsored, by the way,
yeah.
but so I do one podcast a day, right? I edit an hour and a half. Raw material. I upload it. It's basically has a function that it creates a magic episode, so it kind of, you can put like the intro, the outro. You can um make the audio like studio quality. You can filter out filler words. You can cut out silences with the click of a button.
Oh, I like
Basically,
that. What's it called? Riverside
Riverside FM.
FM.
Yes.
Okay, I gotta check that out. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the podcaster's best friend right now, and the plans are also pretty affordable. So
Perfect.
Yeah, Riverside's really handy. I've used it a couple of times. I'm gonna start using it more too. Just the fact to cut reels and the ease of it, and I know for some podcasts and stuff you can host from there, and yeah, Riverside's an awesome platform. Um, Heather, what kind of traps do you see new digital marketers fall into?
Um, it's the promises. A lot of people teach to put a promise in there, not a transformation. And that's where the difference is. A lot of people promise you could do it in 30 days, 90 days, and a lot of people teach that. I don't like that. And I expressed it, especially with people that claim their income. I really don't like that because they're not truly truthful about that. Because they may have somebody do it in 30 days, but not everybody's the same. Well, let's look at do it in 90 days. You could do it in 60 days. I don't believe something can be put on a timeline in a promise. I don't think it has validity, and I think we need to watch out for that when it comes to it. I even bought a $500 digital marketing course. Granted, the quality of it wasn't great, but I did learn something from it. I did learn a few things from it. And it went into chaos. But I think if anybody coming into digital marketing or in digital marketing, make sure that we're authentic. Don't create promises, create transformation. And if you're wanting to get into digital marketing, make sure you question it and it's right for you. Don't do it based on a promise or something that's there. I had a girl lead me into this digital marketing course for $500. She made it sound so great. She was great. She's a great seller, TikTok seller, and a phenomenal seller. But at the end, you don't keep the members or keep the purchaser or the client after that. I felt kind of buyer's remorse after that. Valid, there was good content in there, and I did learn things. But I find people need to start setting themselves up to how they learn what they need to learn, than it is the actual product itself. Because that will mislead you down to squirreling paths or rabbit holes.
Oh yeah, that's that's great advice, Heather. If anybody is like, hey, this girl's a wizard at this. I just got into digital marketing. I need to talk to her a little bit more. Where do they find you?
Uh, on social media, are you referring to?
Anywhere, social media. What's your school? Drop your school community name again. Where is Heather?
Yes, Heather's in digitalprofitbuilder.ca. The link will go straight to the community. The community is called Digital Profit Builder. It's all about the digital profit system of the Power of Five Ones and using the mini method, problem solving method. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, although I haven't done much on those social media platforms because, like I mentioned before, the platforms are changing in 2026. So I'm going to revamp where I want to be. I think I'm going to go away from Facebook and Instagram and into shorts with YouTube and TikTok. I'm gonna revamp the TikTok because now things are changing. I'm gonna change my platforms.
Nice. It's good to evolve and pivot with how your programs are going and stuff. I drop links on Facebook, which then go to Instagram. I haven't been on TikTok in like 2 months, posted anything. I'm really just evolving into Skool is my place. I'll drop links if anyone wants to come find me, but otherwise, I don't spend any outreach time on social media like I used to. Shout out Sam and Kirby. You should love this podcast because we blow up Skool enough. It's like we're sponsored by them, but we're not. We just love Skool. Um, so it's yeah, I think it's good to focus on where your business it thrives, like you said, your target market. So like that, you're kind of pivoting this year.
So I don't know, Heather, if you've been following our podcast, but at the end, I always do a little thing with my oracle cards, and I tune into the speaker's energy and I draw a card for them. And today I got the Mirror Guardian for you.
Oh,
It
awesome!
reads, "Take time to reflect." I hope this resonates.
So fitting.
Is it? Is it? Okay, it makes me happy.
I feel like every one of them, after you say it, because I don't know what's coming up either. And after you say it and then you read what it is, after the like conversation we just had or the story, I
Mm.
feel like it always has a piece that fits. So it's pretty cool. There, I think Dr. Melissa, Dinka, thanks for being with us. Everyone that joined us live. It's an awesome part of Skool is we get to have an audience when we record live in our Skool community, and that's like the funnest part, and the interactive threads and all that. So Heather, I thank you for joining us, being a part of our podcast and the evolution summits. And I've ended these calls with the same question. I don't know if you're following along, but what does evolution mean to you?
Oh, I think evolution actually encompass those pillars, and I think it's kind of like mind and body together. You could put that into various pathways for that, and I think that's what evolution is about. Whatever path you're on, you still have your mind and body.
I love that. That's what we're all about here in Foundations is it's small steps, consistent little imperfect actions every single day that let you figure out who you are on that journey, specifically and uniquely to you. So that was a wonderful answer. Heather, it's been a pleasure. You're going to see me a lot in Digital Profit More, Builder More. I've been a member for a while and love that community. So thanks for joining us. As always, everybody, follow us on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. Keep up to date on all the crazy, chaotic things that just kind of keep happening and on this podcast and amazing guests. We like to shine lights on everyday superhumans. So never stop evolving and keep going on your journey. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you. See you.